Isn't that just so much better? Oh my god, it's getting so hot out. It's so hot out today. It's so hot in the house. If you're enjoying my videos, please hit that subscribe button and like this video and hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. So the camera I mentioned before that I got turned out to be very crappy, like horrible. I could film a movie with it and say that I filmed it in the 90s. People would actually believe me. So since I can't really afford anything more than $100, I decided to do some research and find a different way to do a setup that's affordable for me. So I got a ring light, which is much better lighting. I just still need to learn how to adjust the lighting in the room I'm in. So some of the video you're about to see is kind of very bright and funny until I figure it all out. I hope you don't mind, but at least the actual art you will be able to see because I do close up so that you can actually see it. So I got a ring light tripod that also has a phone attachment. So I'm hands-free now. And 2 tripods for phones that both go up to like 4 feet. So I'm well equipped for now until I can afford to buy a proper camera. So today, because I'm one of the people that were a little late on ordering from Holo Taco, from Christine from Simply Nailogical, I'm gonna make Holo Tacos.
And I mean holo tacos, like munch munch tacos that are holographic, because I don't have Christine's Holo Taco yet, so I'm just gonna have to make it work with what I've got.
So the taco bit is actually gonna be hollow. So you haven't seen me use acrylic before, which I'm actually a lot better at than anything else actually. I just stopped using it because it irritated my skin. But now that my skin is all healed up, I can start playing around with those again and just have to be careful not to irritate my skin too much. So the ground beef, the lettuce, tomato, and cheese will all be made out of acrylic, while the base will still remain nail polish. But first we have to peel off the previous polish. Enjoy!
So just taking off previous nail design. Who doesn't enjoy doing this part? Poops probably shouldn't do that, that's Christine's. So I'm starting with some yellow acrylic and placing it on the plastic lid and working it back and forth to make it into a line so that I can break it up into like cheese grates. As I work the brush back and forth, I try to drag it so that it helps pull it, because acrylic is kind of stretchy. Sometimes I flatten it out because it starts to lift too much off the lid and I can't really work it back and forth anymore. If it doesn't look perfect, that's fine, because most often cheese grates aren't really perfect anyways. And then I cut it in half and then separate it from the lid once it's cured enough, and lift it and lay it off the side so that it can finish curing completely. To lift it off the yogurt lid, just kind of push your brush flatly underneath it and it'll lift. Sometimes if it's not cured enough, just give it some more time. So now that I got my technique worked out, I'm taking a bigger piece to get more done at once. Sometimes when your brush starts sticking to the acrylic, just dip it in the liquid and then dab it on the paper towel to get the excess out. Makes it easier to work with the acrylic again. Then I finish cutting them all up and then letting them set to finish curing completely. If you don't separate them all from the lid, that's fine. Once they're cured completely, they'll kind of just pop right off. Now I'm starting with some orange to make a tomato. Though this color was very red, so I added a bit of yellow to try to make it into more of a tomato orange. A little bit more yellow because that's just still not very orange. Trying to keep the yellow mixed in. The mixed color kind of works because the tomato's not all just one color. I want to make diced tomatoes, that's why I'm flattening it out, and then I'm using my cuticle tool to cut it up into dice. So once it's cured enough, I started separating them and pulling them out individually and putting them off the side to finish curing. You shouldn't really touch acrylic with your fingers, especially when you have eczema like I do, but they weren't coming off the tool. You can also wear gloves, but I find it really hard to work with gloves. So now I'm starting with some light green to make lettuce and flattening it out on the lid. And once it's kind of cured enough, I start to lift up the edges to give it sort of a lettucey look. Again, not all pieces will be the same because when you do separate lettuce, they all kind of have a different shape, and sometimes smaller the more you go into the lettuce, the closer you get to the heart of the lettuce. So I made a couple more, though 3 is not going to be enough because I have 5 nails, but I'll finish making them afterwards. So now I'm starting to make the ground beef with this sort of brown color I have. So once it was mixed with the liquid, it turned into a much darker brown. I tried mixing it with some white, but it just looked gray, not really brown anymore, so I just worked with the brown the way it was. So I flattened it out and stabbed at it with my acrylic brush to give it a sort of ground beef texture. And once it cured a little bit more, I used my cuticle tool and stabbed at it some more to give it some more texture. So I cut the ground beef into 2 because the one piece was just too big for one nail. And then I cleaned my tool, dipping it in the acrylic liquid, the monomer, and then wiping it down on a paper towel, and it gets everything off. Careful on a type of tool, if the finishing is any sort of paint, it will take the paint off. And then stabbed at it some more to give it some more texture. And then gently lifted it off the yogurt lid and placed it down so that it could finish curing completely. Off camera, I finished making enough vegetables and cheese and meat for all 5 nails. Now I'm painting my nails with black. I'm using Sally Hansen Hard as Nails. Lucky enough for me, it's opaque in 1 coat. Now I'm using my Holo Gold by China Glaze called Counting Carrots for the taco shell. And this is where the Holo Taco comes in. Now I'm applying a little bit of clear polish to help stick on the ground beef. I cut it out, but it took me 20 times before I was actually able to pick it up. Now I'm adding some more clear polish to add on some vegetables, and using a Q-tip, dipping it in the polish to help it pick up the pieces better because I just couldn't with my nails. I'm not using gel because I'm allergic, or clear acrylic because I ran out. And adding some more polish so that I can add some tomatoes on top of the lettuce. Stop hitting the tripod myself. And then some more clear polish so I can add on the cheese. Now I realized that I covered up most of the taco, so it looks like all the vegetables are on the outside of the taco. So I used some more of my Holo Gold glitter polish to bring the shell back onto the outside of the taco. You can't really see the holo in the nail polish, but once you see the aftershots you're able to see it better, but still way more hollow in real life. And then I used a toothpick and dipped it into the polish and put a little bit behind the vegetables and meat so that it looks like the taco's coming up from behind. There we go, now I got Holo Tacos on my nails until I'm able to buy the actual Holo Taco from Christine from Simply Nailogical. Excuse the cuticles, they still have polish on them. They're really dry from my eczema and sometimes the acetone doesn't wash it all off. Shout out to Simply Nailogical!
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I had a lot of fun using acrylics again. So the next couple of videos are going to be the short ones, and I'm going to try doing voiceovers. I'm going to see how that works for me. These are going to be short videos because I'm working on a much bigger video. It's not the 100 baby challenge yet, but it's another video I think will be a lot of fun. Not related to nails, but me and a friend are working together on it, so that should be uploading soon. Hopefully by next week. Well, stay home, stay safe, and have fun. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!